Hi, this is Xiaocun Xu again. I'll be giving a quick introduction about the overall structure of my code. So first of all, my database is called Gradebook. It has four table. Two of them is original Gradebook and student, and the other two is a Gradebook copy, student copy. The copy is for secondary server, and the gradebook and students for primary server. And uh, the copy and the original have the same identical properties, except for the auto increment primary key. Auto increment. Uh, it's easier for the original table to insert in the new records, so you don't have to specify the value of the gradebook ID and the student ID here. And but for copying the records, uh, it seems like you can't specify the value for the auto increment ID. That's why I keep the copy uh, just a simple integer, no auto increment. This is a script of creating the tables. Uh, for the student table, I have a foreign key gradebook ID, which is referencing the gradebook ID in the gradebook table. So for each project, I have a pretty much similar structure. There is a package for database operations. Then the rest is pretty much the same with the previous project. And yeah, the package name looks pretty much the same except for server primary, I have primary here, secondary here. So, so I'm gonna walk through the overall structure of my code. Pretty much HTTP method is in the resource class, and I will be using the database operation class here to call the relevant method. For getting student, I have a return value. Either it's a list, or for get one student, it's just return a bin class. And for database operation, so on the top, I have this JDBC connection string called dbURL. It's used in the get connection method of a driver manager, and the username and the password are both gradebook. One was creating the database. Unfortunately, there is no secure command for creating a database, so that's why I only have a creating table. So every method of a database operation pretty much have the same structure. Then after getting a connection, you call the prepare statement with the query as argument. In this case, it's simple select. And this set method have a set int, set string, set etc. etc. It's to fill the vacancy of the value of each property in your query. This is question mark. You will see multiple question mark if you have a multiple value on different properties. Then for execute query, it will be returning a result set. For the other, like update, insert, it doesn't return anything. No, it returns a value, says how many rows are affected. So then we'll loop through the result set, do the relevant operations. Most of the methods are pretty simple, except for some of them I have to do multiple select, insert altogether. For example, for deleting a gradebook, first of all, you have to delete the gradebook. And no, actually, this you have to check the student record, see if it exists. If the student record exists, delete all the student on that gradebook. Then you will have to delete gradebook later. This is because of referential integrity imposed by the foreign key, I think. Same for the copy of the student and the gradebook. So as you can see, most of the structure are pretty much the same. First, I will only walk through those with relevant lumpy method, especially for create student on the primary server. Simply, I want to check each gradebook if the gradebook already exists, and if the gradebook exists, I will insert. Then I will check if there are students in that gradebook. If the student record exists, I will be updating the record. If not, I will be inserting a new record. And so for gradebook copy, it's pretty much the same. I will check if there are any gradebook already in the copy table. Then I will check student records. If student record exists, I will be updating the record. If not, I will be inserting a new record. For student DB as in secondary server, yeah, this method may not look as straightforward as it looks. I mean, so after getting a result set, I will be looping through it, put it in student list. This list is from the student table, and now I'll be putting everything into a student copy table. Number of students, basically I'm attaching this string to this insertion query. Then if the number of students is 5, I will be having 5 of this string after the value. Now I'll be setting the value for these question marks. This pretty much is just an offset for each property. So for example, if you have a 5 property, you may have a then the new column will be I plus j plus 5. Then here you have a j plus equals 4. That's all I have to say. Thank you.